Douglas Whyte, we always like to find an intriguing horse on debut on this programme, and I think you've got the most intriguing one of them coming up on Saturday. His name is Fast Responder. He's very well named now because he's a horse who showed great speed in the UK. He looks to have done well since he's arrived.
He has. He's a young, immature horse. You know, he was only a 2-year-old when he was purchased, but he's coming to Hong Kong, and for a young horse, he's done everything correctly. His trials have been impressive. And as you mentioned, he's got good gate speed.
I went back and had a look at his victories in the UK. Obviously, he is a 2-time winner. He won the Listed Roses at York and also the Cornwallis at Newmarket. I mean, he's got a super electric turn of foot when needed.
He has, and I think his asset is that he's not a jump and tear away. He's a horse that can take cover and run at them. He seems to get stronger in his run, so that's going to work to his advantage as well.
He's only had limited trials. I had a look at his Happy Valley trial. He was good when winning that. You actually had the first 3 in that trial. How much has he impressed you and his jockeys throughout those couple of trials?
Lyle's been very complimentary of his action and his attitude, and I was very pleased with the way he trialled both times, actually. He was a thorough professional, and after that second trial, I just backed off him slightly and freshened him up, and I think whatever he does tomorrow, he will improve, but I think he'll be very competitive.
You, more than anyone, would have a great handle on the form. Opening mark of 78 doesn't make life easy for him, but this is where he starts.
No, it's going to be tough. You know, a young horse, European especially, coming in on a 78 mark. But having said that, what he's done overseas, and he probably deserved it. He'll be a very interesting horse for next season.
Yeah, he certainly does look at, and you've kept him a colt as well. Just the reasoning behind that?
There's not much of him, and I just felt that if we gelded him now, he might fall away. Everybody will see tomorrow. No, he's a unique little horse, and he looks pretty feminine. But he certainly started to take shape, and so hence the reason I've left him a colt.
Yeah, I think he's a thoroughly intriguing runner. So good luck with him. Just going back to Wednesday night, great to see Wings of War finally get his head in front. I guess he's been a tad frustrating, but he did it really well.
He did. I think the track played into his advantage. He loved the cut in the ground, but having said that, he's been a victim of circumstances. He's been a bit unlucky. Just fantastic to get a winner for Mary Slack. You know, I think everybody knows we go back a long way, and from my apprentice years. But to do that for someone as popular and as in South Africa and worldwide, really, it was fantastic.
Hugh, King Miles, one of your rides coming up on Saturday this weekend at Sha Tin. He's looked nicely progressive and managed to get the win last time.
Yes, he did. He's a nice horse. He's certainly got some talent, and we were pretty confident going in to the race 2 starts ago, but he sort of bumbled the start and then got over racing and sort of did it all a bit upside down. But with a wider draw, I just dropped him in behind the speed last start, and he settled well. Had to contend with a riderless horse and managed to do that. He let down quite well, but I think he's got more to offer than what he showed in that race. But with a nice middle draw this weekend, I think it's a field that he can cope with once again if we just get him to do everything right.
It certainly looked deserved, I think, didn't it, with those mitigating circumstances. And as you say, the wide draw, obviously, the fact he overcome it, he looks like he's got plenty of talent.
He does have talent, and like I said, he's a progressive horse. He's a very sensible horse, and I've been working him in between races, and he's really going the right way about things. So I'll just be mindful that he did want to get racing a bit too keenly with me 2 starts ago. So it's important that we sort of harness that energy. But you know, he did everything right last start, and there's no reason why he can't improve on that, in my opinion.
With that track work here, has it been noticeable from your perspective as a rider that he has sort of taken good benefit from it and improved, if anything, out of it?
Well, he doesn't do a great deal on the track. I'm not out there to break any records. Francis's track work is pretty consistent, so you're not asking the horse, but he's just going well, he's moving well, and he's doing everything very consistently. So we'll have to wait and see race day whether he's really taken the next step, but wouldn't surprise me if he has.
Given that this game can be very much form driven, he looks pretty good. Beat Lucy in the Sky last time. The horse that beat him 2 starts ago, Phoenix Light's in good order, so it's rock solid.
Yeah, look, leave that to professionals. But this horse did everything well last start, as I said. He settled beautifully behind the pace, which was pretty solid, to be perfectly honest, and he balanced up and attacked the line well. And like I said, I think he can improve on that performance, and if he does, then he's going to be very hard to beat.
Harry, Lowan Spirit, your ride in race 6 on Saturday. Couldn't have asked for a better introduction.
That's right, it was a really good first run. I was extremely happy with the pace he showed early to get up to the leader, and we went fairly steady in front, but he quickened really nicely, and I like the way he stuck his head down and battled with Awesome Treasure. It was a good duel, and yeah, he showed that he's very genuine.
Yeah, I get a very, I would say, genuine trait to have, the way he did give that kick for you when asked.
That's it. You can't ask for much more. You just obviously want them to really stick their head down for you, and a horse having his first run here was, yeah, it was very promising, so that there should be more to come.
He'd shown a bit, hadn't he, in these trials prior to that as well, so I guess it probably wasn't totally unexpected, even at decent odds.
That's right. I think he'd shown a bit of a mixed bag with his trials. He'd given me a nice feel early on, and then I think just being a bit unfurnished, he had a couple of trials which were just so-so, but his trial before his run was very promising down the straight, and I was expecting him to run well. Was I expecting him to win first time? Probably not, but obviously extremely happy he did.
Have you had a chance to sit on him since then? How has he come out of it, if you have?
Yeah, I galloped him on the turf over 1800, well, at the 1800 metre start, I should say, and he gave me a really good feel. I genuinely think he's taken a step forward. He just feels a bit more on it, and whether that be mentally and physically, so I think he's taken a step forward.
Using the runner-up as probably a decent enough benchmark, and he doesn't win over it very often, but he certainly always runs his race comfortably clear of the third as well. So it was obviously a race in which the form could well stand up, I suppose, for the first two.
Yeah, I think it could do. So I think the form he brings into the race is strong enough, and with a barrier that's not too dissimilar to where he won from last time, he should be able to get up into a nice position.
Yeah, he looks at a nice horse going forward. How many doubles is that now for you, Harry? Because there was another one on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. I think it's at a 9 or 10, so it's been great, and if I can just keep that momentum, I'll be happy.
I know Douglas Whyte was pleased to finally get the win with Wings of War. You must have been a bit the same.
I was. I know he'd been knocking at the door for a long time, and he'd run some extremely good races in defeat, so I knew that a win was imminent, and I was just pleased to be on board for it. But he really felt like a better horse on Wednesday, and the strong pace probably suited him, but he was able to really kick off of it as well, and he's always been a horse that I've liked, so to get his head in front was great, and hopefully he's another one that can come out again, and he should be in for another massive race.
Lyle Hewitson, Flaming Rabbit, one of your rides on Saturday. Handy horse, this fellow. They're bringing him back in trip as well. Let's touch upon his run last time. That was over the 18. How did you assess his performance?
I thought he performed admirably. It was a very good run. He had to shoulder the big weight over a distance he was trying for the first time, and I wouldn't say against his pattern, but he wasn't allowed to dictate as he liked, and hit the front and was strong through to the finish, and just got overhauled late. So very good run. He's got the big weight again, but back to the trip where he has performed very well consistently. So. Yeah, looking forward to him. He's come out of that race really well, and he should be a live chance again.
A couple of questions. Firstly, the trip, obviously, trying a new distance. Do you think that might be re-explored? And secondly, how much better a horse is he when he can dictate?
So to answer your first question, I think it'll definitely be re-explored. I think he showed that he handled very well, and probably when he goes up in class or gets one of those extended rating bands, he could carry a bit less weight and would be even more competitive. And yeah, look, he's got such a high galloping tempo and can start to pick it up from 600 out. So when he gets to dictate, he doesn't have to be challenged when doing so. And I think that's why he's probably a touch better when he's allowed to dictate. But like I said, that showed that he can run like that too, and he's done it a few times. So he's getting a little bit more versatile, and at least we have another trick up our sleeve in terms of distances. He gets anywhere from the 14 to the 18 now.
Horses at this grade, obviously they do meet quite frequently. Going through that run last time, Le City Blanche was down the field. Obviously he's come out and put his hand up with a Group 3 win, so that the form's not the worst. Yeah,
the form is good. He's always bumped shoulders with some really nice horses who have either performed well before their runs or after their runs. So he's shown his quality, and like I said, he's a pleasure to ride. He's a good horse, and like I said, he'll be a chance once again.
Gate 6, how easy does that make things for you to try and get to that lead?
Yeah, it does help. I think a middle draw suits a horse like him, that he gets forward, and he's got such good gate speed. So it maps pretty well, although he does sort of help himself out from any draw. So 6 we're happy with that, and he should get a good run in the race.
Lyle, owner's praise, one of a number of decent rides for you on Saturday. He's got that tongue tie on for the second time. The first time he wore it, he was mightily impressive.
Yeah, I think his trial before that that run last time just showed the vein of form he was in, and he sort of replicated that going into the race and won really well. We did get a few favours getting those gaps at the right times, but he's certainly shown on a few occasions that he's been unlucky, but has the qualities. So that was overdue, and I think that he's a really big horse, so up in weight he should be able to shoulder it and he'll be competitive again.
Given his size and stature, he did have plenty of room up the inside, but he looked as if he made your job easy, Lyle, in the sense that he was always travelling well for you.
Yeah, he doesn't travel for 3/4 of the race, but when he gets into his stride and starts to travel, he's quite strong through that, and he's able to actually have a nice turn of foot when the gaps appear. So yeah, he's not really tactically suitable to anything, but if the gap's open and he gets a good tempo, he's a dangerous horse.
And I guess on the back of that, you'd like to think maybe there is a bit more still to come from him, I suppose, now that Chris has put that tongue tie on, it seemingly has helped him a bit.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, he should be able to shoulder the weight, and then probably, if he were to get the job done and go up in class, he would still be competitive. So I think there's a bit of quality about him, although he is a horse that needs things to go his way.
You've ridden 3 winners for Chris this season. I mean, it wouldn't have been lost on you that Chris's horses are absolutely flying. So nice to keep that association going as well. Yeah,
Chris is doing really well. It's always a pleasure. I think it's been a great season for me in terms of getting support from everyone, in particular a lot of the local trainers. So if I can get a few more score runs on the board for them, that'd be great.